America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, meeting's called to order. We have several employees with service recognition. I'm not clear that any of them are here. Michael Welch from Corrections for 5 years, Nicholas Canigliaro, probation for 15, Michael Kaselnik, probation for 20, James Goulden, probation for 25, and Stacy Phillips in the Sheriff's Office for 25. Thank all of them for their, oh wait, I might have one coming, let me see. Come on in, come on in, you're just in time.
You just said your name. Did you really?
Yeah, here, let me give you this. You don't even have to sit down, look at that.
This is Stacy Phillips.
Stacy Phillips, 25 years, I'm not gonna shake your hand, I'm sick, so congratulations and thank you for your services.
Thank you. Thank you,
Very
Stacy.
appreciative. All right, it doesn't go to,
Did she start when she was 6?
Yeah. 5.5.
item number 1. Need a motion for that.
I make a motion to recess the commissioners' meeting and open the salary board.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to recess the commissioners and open the salary board. The salary board is open. All right, item number 1.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the salary board on May 24th.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve the minutes for this May 24th meeting. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 2.
Make a motion to approve item number 2 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 2, eliminate the salary position non-union full-time operations training administrator. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Item 3.
Make a motion to approve item number 3 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 3 on the agenda to eliminate the position of union full-time public safety systems manager database analyst 911 office. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Item 4.
Make a motion to approve item number 4 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to create the salary position, full-time operations system manager in the 911 department. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Item 5.
Make a motion to approve item number 5 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 5 on the agenda, amend the current starting salary of the non-union full-time position chief clerk from 55 to 60. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Item 6.
I make a motion to approve item number 6 on the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren, to approve item 6 on the agenda, amend the current starting salary of the non-union full-time position of Assistant Public Safety Director, 911 Director from 47.5 to 49.5. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 7.
Make a motion to approve item number 7 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 7 on the agenda to amend the non-union full-time position of Director of Assessment from 35 to 45. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Any public comment on the salary board? Hearing none,
Make a motion to close salary board and reopen the commissioners' meeting.
I'll second that.
motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, close the salary, reopen, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Item number 2.
Make a motion to approve item number 2 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 2 on the agenda. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Item 3.
a motion to approve item number 3 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 3 on the agenda. Approve the following cash disbursements, electronic payments. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4.
Make a motion to ratify and or approve the following seminar requests and payments.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 4 on the agenda. Pay for the seminar request or seminar or approve the request. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item number 5.
Make a motion to approve item number 5 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 5 on the agenda, acknowledge the appointment of the following individuals to the Susquehanna County Task Force. Anna Hollenbeck, Matthew Granick, and Joshua Gibb. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 6.
Make a motion to approve item number 6 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 6 on the agenda, to acknowledge and ratify the hiring of Dalton Kavanaugh, Tom Canick, to the open full-time union position of Deputy Sheriff. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Item 7.
Make a motion to approve item number 7 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve and ratify the transfer of Arthur Donato Montrose from the full-time non-union position of Assistant Director of Public Safety 911 to the open part-time position of telecommunications training. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 8.
Make a motion to approve item number 8 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 8 on the agenda, ratify and approve the transfer of Bruce Butler from Dixon City from the full-time non-union position of 911 Operations and Training Administrator to the open full-time non-union position of Assistant Director of Public Safety 911 Coordinator. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 9.
I make a motion to approve item number 9 on the agenda.
Okay. So,
Operations system manager.
go back to the salary work. Let me see.
Occupation assistance.
To transfer him to the operations/systems manager in 911. Okay.
What's wrong?
Just the wording. So item 9 should read, sorry, to the full-time non-union position of Operations Systems Manager 911. Are you okay with that change?
Yeah, fine.
And I'll second that.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Item 10.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 10 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 10, ratify the hiring of Lisa Holly, Forest Lake, the open full-time non-union position of Deputy Warden Operations Training. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 11 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 11 on the agenda, to ratify approve the hiring of Andrew Gordon, Great Bend, to the open non-union position of corrections sergeant. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Item 12.
Make a motion to approve item number 12 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve the hiring of Martin Kane of Montrose to the open full-time non-union position of chief clerk. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Item 13.
Make a motion to approve item number 13 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to acknowledge the resignation with regret of Laura Mitchell from Shopin from the union position of the district magistrate's office. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I need to take an executive session at this point. I need the two commissioners to go in the other office. We'll discuss the legal issue.
For an executive session, if you want to come and sit.
Does anybody know if what we were, the meeting last night, is that on the agenda?
Yeah, I Facebooked Mary Ann Warren last night, private message her, tell her what the results were. I didn't want to call her late at night. And she acknowledged, she said she believes that the issue will be brought up at today's
Because the
meeting.
public comment is at the
The
end.
public comment is at the end. It's not on the agenda, but she said it's definitely probably going to be brought up. So
You don't think they're ready to, they're not gonna take any action today then?
I would hope, that's what we're going to ask them to do.
Hi, come on in. How are you?
Great.
This is Michael Koselnik, everybody. And of course, Michael has been with us for 20 years. And I shake your hand when I'm sick. So I want to appreciate your services. Thank you very much. All right, we had an executive session on a legal issue. We did not take any action. And now we're back to our meeting. Item 14.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 14 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 14 on the agenda. Approve the hiring of Robert Hyde of Junior of Vestal, New York, to the open full-time position of Director of Assessment. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 15.
Make a motion to approve item number 15 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 15 on the agenda, to sign the following purchase service agreements between Susquehanna County Probation and Susquehanna County Children and Youth, Lackawanna County Probation, and Office of Youth and Family Services. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 16.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 16 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 16 on the agenda, to purchase a 2016 New Holland T-Ford 110 tractor from Rovendale Ag Barn Incorporated and Wysox, CoStar's pricing, and that should say includes the trade-in of the old one. You okay with that change?
Yes, I am.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried.
I'll make a motion to open the sealed bids for the following vehicles that are listed.
Wait a minute, what about 17?
Oh, did I miss it?
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
did.
17.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to approve item number 17 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, signed by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 17, to sign the Act 101, Section 901 Municipal Planning Grant Application for DP. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Now I'll make a motion to open the bids, sealed bids for the vehicles listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, nice.
I know, I was gonna say you were giving it to him. Try not to touch your pen.
Cosmo Auto, vehicle number 1004, is for $301. Cosmo Auto, vehicle 103, $301. Vehicle 10001, $301. I think there's a pattern here.
That's all Cosmo's.
It's all salvage. And vehicle 1002 for $300. From Douglas Osgood. 1004, $459. I understand that one so well.
459.
Cosmello's 1005 for $301. Yeah. This is Osgood again, this is for 105 for $339. Cosmo again for 1101. And that is for $351. We went up on that one, didn't it? This is Deborah Sano. 1201 for $1,500. Oh, that'll be a winner. This is Cosmel's 1201 for $601. Oh, that didn't make that. All right, this one is all right, this is from, is it right? Roger Koski from South Lyon, Michigan. We've got 1101, we've got 783. That's the highest bid on that one, right? That is, next one, Roger. All right, bid, let's see, 1002. I'm gonna bid a 683 from this guy. And 1002, the other one we had was Cosmello's. And that's it, so he gets that one too. 683. And we got 1103.
We don't have an 1103.
Don't have an 1103. VIN number is here. Let me make sure I got the VIN number right here.
100.
6340, 25419, okay. 25420, okay, 1003. Is 683, 1003, we don't have anything higher than that, right? So, what is that one? What is that one? What is that one? All right, then we've got, let's see, 7, 1004, you bid 813. And let's see, yeah, that is, I guess that's the highest one on that one too. 13, okay. And then we have 68 by 58, which is 1005. We bid 833. And let's see, 1005, we don't have anything higher than that. So we get that one too, 33. Alright, then we got 1201. He bid 2253. Well, that must be the one that runs.
Highest one was 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so 6 of them he gets, plus 1001. Let's see, that's 105, that's 104. The only one we had bid on 1001 was Cosmello, right? So Cosmello will get that one for 301. All right, bids are open. Can I have a motion to award the bids?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
I have a bid motion and a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so carried. Public comment? Yes.
Last night at the special meeting for the planning board, they notified the public that the XNG gas operation in Forest Lake is not in compliance with the land development ordinance. They were given conditional final approval months ago for that operation. And first off, I'd like to say that a number of the permits that are ordinances that are approved by the Planning Commission, they label as conditional. Well, conditional basically is saying that the company is on the honor system to follow through with the conditions of, and this is a situation where larger companies, Cabot Oil and Gas, Williams, they know better. They know that if it's conditional, they better comply within a reasonable amount of time. This company is a smaller company. They're out of New Hampshire. They basically came in here and they've kind of thumbed their nose at the Susquehanna County's subdivision and land development. The land development ordinance requires a copy of all required state and federal environmental permits prior to final approval. Again, it says final approval, but they gave them conditional final approval, which I said basically puts them on the honor system. I think we're going to see more and more smaller companies coming in trying to get the gas out of Susquehanna County. We all know that the pipeline situation is not going very well. We all know that the gas is here is worth millions, billions of dollars. They need to get it from Susquehanna County to the market. And last week Cabot announced they're going to be drilling for at least another 30 years. So this is going to be an ongoing issue. Now we have these companies coming in that are going to compress this gas and put it on trailers and truck it out of here. I mean, you talk about the worst, the lesser of two evils. But besides that, the fact is that this company is not in compliance. Last night, the result of the meeting was the planning board said, we can't do anything. We have no enforcement capability other than some of our members driving around looking at things. We don't have an enforcement officer. There's nothing we can do to this company. And they voted to bounce it back to the county commissioners. They claim that the county commissioners are the only ones that can take any kind of action against this company. So my wish is that the county commissioners get together with the county solicitor as soon as possible and find out what legally any recourse the county has to send a message to this company. They're probably going to get their permits and everything eventually. They're not going to go anywhere, but to send the message to other companies that come in with these type of operations that Susquehanna County is going to hold you accountable to what we have as our rules and regulations.
Okay. You mind if can I respond to that? I'm Seth Berry. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for XNG. I wasn't at the meeting last night because we didn't get notice of it. We weren't looking at the newspaper, so we didn't see the notice. It was in the newspaper, and we got a letter the day of the meeting. So colleagues of mine were at the meeting, but I wasn't there, so I won't speak to exactly what happened at the meeting because it'd be a secondhand account. But we met with the County Planning Commission, it was 2 weeks ago on May 30th. We gave them a plan to get the sound in compliance. We told them exactly what we were going to do on that, as well as some landscaping that was required as well, which has since been completed. And we're continuing to move toward that plan. So, I don't think it's that we've thumbed our nose at the county and the ordinances. We're trying to bring ourselves into compliance with that sound ordinance. The reason that we weren't or aren't was due to some unforeseen issues with the equipment. The equipment didn't match the specs. The sound emissions from the equipment didn't match the specs that the manufacturer told us. We're bringing actions against them because of that. We've taken actions to stabilize the equipment from a vibration standpoint, which is what was causing a lot of the excess sound. We've done that to one unit already. We're doing it to the second unit in the next week. And we're also, as we told the Planning Commission, putting up a $350,000 sound wall to further mitigate any sound issues and bring the facility well within the ordinance's compliance requirements. We're doing all of that in the next month. The sound wall will be up and functioning. We told them we would retest it at that time, and they accepted that and gave us until that next meeting to do that. So nothing has changed from that perspective. We're going to be in compliance. There's a chance that we're in compliance already with this stabilization of the vibration of the compressors. We haven't had a chance to measure that yet because our sound engineers haven't had a chance to go out and measure that while it's operating. We plan to do that as soon as they are able to do that, hopefully within the next week or two. If we are, then it's a moot point. We're still putting the wall up either way because we think that's an appropriate further mitigation, but from an ordinance perspective, we'd be in compliance at that point. We also offered, they didn't end up taking us up on this, but to the extent that there was any concern that we wouldn't follow through on that project, we offered to the County Planning Commission to put up a bond for the entire amount of the contract, which is over $300,000, to ensure compliance with that contract and implementation of that. They didn't ultimately take us up on that, but we're still willing to do that. It's our hope that the commission, the county commission, will take into account the fact that sending us a message and shutting us down hurts our employees, frankly, more than it hurts anybody else, because we have to lay all of them off for a month while we do this, and the end effect of that is they would lose a month's worth of pay, and that we would be in compliance at the same time we would be in compliance otherwise. If we fail to get into compliance in that time frame, then I would be the first to say you guys should take whatever action you think is necessary, because then we haven't lived up to what we said we would do. Until then, I would hopefully request that you let the plan that we put in place with the county commission, with the planning commission, the one that they accepted, play itself out and make sure that we stick to that.
All required state and federal environmental permits prior to final approval. When XNG initially came to the planning board's first meeting and introduced themselves, they said there would be no need for an air quality permit. It's since been determined they do need an air quality permit. I find it hard to believe that a company was going to be operating something, a site, and did not know or did not look into whether they needed an air quality permit. They're currently in violation with DEP because they do need an air quality permit. And this was a blatant attempt to come in and start something up where no one had done their homework. We all know that the big compressor stations around the county all need air quality permits. This is also a compressor location, albeit they are smaller compressors. But I would also bring to attention, irregardless of the sound issue, which he just addressed, we also have this other thing hanging over that DEP is now involved and has informed the Planning Commission that, yes, there is an air quality permit. It hasn't been applied. I don't know where it is in the application process, but currently they're operating in violation of DEP's rules and regulations. And our subdivision and land development says it requires a copy of all required state and federal environmental permits. I don't think it's up to the Planning Commission to determine what's required as far as state and federal permits. That's the company who's going to operate here's responsibility. Obviously, they never did that.
Okay, can I speak to that?
Yes.
So that's not accurate. There is an exemption under the DEP's regulations. It's called Exemption 33D. Applies to compressor stations specifically. Sets certain emissions levels under which a compressor station is exempt from an air quality plan. We had our outside counsel, environmental consultants, and the manufacturer of the equipment all look at that and look at the emissions from our compressors prior to construction of the facility. We all looked at it and came to the conclusion that the exemption applied because the actual emissions from our compressors are below the levels required for that air quality plan. The exemption in question is rather new, according to the DEP, and has never actually been applied. I think it's a year old or something like that, but at any rate has not been applied. We have looked at it. They came back to us and said, we read the exemption differently than you do. We read it to say that it's uncontrolled emissions, meaning essentially what are the emissions from the compressor engines if you don't put emission controls on the engines. We read it to mean, and our attorneys still think we have a valid legal basis for this, that it's actual emissions from the compressor engines that determine whether or not we meet the exemption. We've been in discussions with DEP for more than a month regarding this. They have not come back and said to us definitively that the exemption reads the way that they would like it to read. What they did say was that it would be easier for everybody if you went ahead and filed a plan anyway. So we said, okay, we will file a plan. Please tell us the form, the nature, and the timing of that filing so that we can comply with it, since it is, in our view, essentially a voluntary filing. Please tell us exactly how you want us to do that and what the timing will be for that plan to be reviewed, and we will go ahead and file it. We've already done most of the work required to submit that plan through our environmental consultants, and are waiting for DEP to come back and answer that question. The last time we spoke to them was June 9th, which was a day after they sent the note to Susquehanna County. And we are waiting. We have a call with them at 11 o'clock today, their legal counsel, to discuss the parameters of that filing and to get that filing in as soon as possible. So it's not accurate that we didn't think about it, that we didn't look at it, that we didn't make a determination. With the help of experts, we did. If DEP has come back afterwards and said they read the exemption differently, there's nothing I can do about that. There was no mechanism within that exemption to file for an application or anything else. So that is where we are. We are endeavoring to comply with DEP to file that plan and should have that plan filed shortly.
But you're still under a
Oh,
notice of
hey,
violation.
whoa. You just don't start talking.
Okay.
You know that.
Right.
The young lady next to you wants to speak.
Thank you.
I just want to point out that regardless of what Mr. Berry said, the company is still working and continuing without the proper permits from the DEP and without satisfying the noise ordinance for the county, and has been for several months, and I think that you should take action. Also, I think it's despicable that he's using his employees as pawns in this case to try to stop you from taking action. I mean, that's absolutely the fault of the executives, not the fault of the members of the county who are suffering because of this.
Thank you. At this point, I'll give you the response from the commissioners. At this point, we just got this information just before or during this meeting. We will review it with our solicitor to determine what action to take next. I will make a few comments, however. My understanding from the information I've gathered is that the sound study was done back in February, was never brought in until May to our office. So you knew from February to May that you're out of compliance and not in compliance with the sound study. In addition, you finally planted the trees that laid out there for a month on the ground. And my understanding is DEP was out there on Friday and you got some warning letters on the mud on the road and the air quality on the site.
Could I just
Go
respond?
ahead,
Yeah.
respond to that.
So, the reason the trees, just to sort of take those, the reason the trees weren't planted is because of the weather. And as soon as the weather allowed us to plant the trees, we planted the trees.
Buddy, you can sing that song to whoever you want.
Oh, I'm just-
I've planted trees forever,
Okay.
and those trees could have been planted the day after they got there.
Okay.
But I will tell you this from the commissioners. We love to have companies bring jobs to our area.
Yep.
But you will comply with our ordinances and our regulations.
We have-
Now, you may, and you're not. You're out of compliance. Now, we will review this with legal counsel. I will tell you right now, you better get your butts in gear, because you're not gonna have the time frame you think you're gonna have. And if we have to shut you down, we will shut you down. And I wanna make sure you understand that.
I do.
So I suggest you get it fixed before we shut you down, and we're gonna see what we gotta do to get that done. You are out of compliance, you're not in compliance. All this other stuff for DEP, your attorneys and your people should have done before you even started in February. You got the horse so far ahead of the cart, now it's unreal. You've been operating since February without having any of this work done. All this work should have been done before that. And this commission here, the commissioners, will speak with the planning commission about these rules that they put out as far as contingent final approval. And we will deal with those issues and take care of that. You should never have been operating till that air study was done and it was proven, period. And you should never have been operating until the noise ordinance was done and proven, period. There's no exceptions. This is not the Wild Wild West. We may be from Susquehanna County, you may think we're a bunch of damn rednecks. But by God, you're gonna follow our rules in our county. That's all we have on this. Any other public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'm sorry,
Where are you from?
I'm from Binghamton.
You're not talking. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Excuse me,
Yeah, you already heard me once. You're not talking.
I make a motion.
Just made a motion.
Oh, I second it.